Hey everybody, welcome to the Sports in the Mitten podcast, powered by Mr. Spots in Ann Arbor. I'm your host, Adam Biggers, Michigan and Michigan State beat writer for FanRag Sports. If you can't tell, the scenery is a little bit different here. I'm in Dallas. I've been down here since Wednesday. Wasn't able to make it to Tuesday night, and Wednesday night availabilities had a pack, had an early flight Wednesday, so wasn't able to catch up with Don Brown and some of the players there, but I assure you guys I will do that tomorrow. And Justin Green's watching. Hey Justin, hey Lead Demon, thanks for watching, guys. I'll take some questions today. I'll give out my prediction, do a little bit of previewing of Michigan versus Florida. Mark Reed, thanks for joining, and answer your questions. I can't stay a long time. Want to do some sightseeing here. Dallas is huge. This is a really nice city. I got to see the JFK monuments and everything, and I'm kind of a history buff, so that was definitely pretty cool. MIC Brooke, Shane, what's up, guys? I want to see your guys' score predictions too. Let's see if they line up with mine. I wrote a preview column. You guys should read it. I tweeted it. Go to Whataburger and post a review, says Sean Michael. Hey, there's this place called Williams Chicken that makes really good chicken sandwiches. Shane says 24-10 Michigan. I wrote a preview, guys. Follow me on Twitter at AdamBiggers81. Previews on FanRag Sports. Basically, I'll start with this. Here you go, Adam, 72-0, says Justin Green. Basically, I feel like Michigan's got to keep the blinders on, and I reference something that Wilton Spate says all the time, and kind of like about the outside noise and things like that regarding him. But I think in a game like this, all we've heard is suspension, suspension, suspension. Antonio Callaway, Jordan Scarlett, those are the big ones. At the same time, I feel like if you're Michigan, you can't get caught up in that. You have to just go into the game, and it's probably easier said than done, but I feel like you have to just go into the game not worrying about who's going to play. You're playing Florida. Florida's still number 17 in the country, regardless of the suspensions. Florida's still a good team, and but obviously depleted. So I think it'd be easy for Michigan to go in there, and I made a reference, kind of chest pumped out a little bit, overconfident. But I think, like I said, they just got to go in there calm. It's a neutral site game against an SEC team. Good teams don't play three quarterback, Sean Michael. Well, Felipe Franks, redshirt freshman, is starting. Lead Demon, there are only two actual players missing. The rest are scrubs, says Lead Demon. Well, I mean, I think Keanu Davis, linebacker, he's a guy who could contribute. But yeah, Jordan Scarlett, the running back, 800 yards plus last year. Antonio Callaway, obviously a punt return nightmare for a lot of teams. He was one of the better guys in the SEC last year, and he's Florida's returning receiving yards leader too. I'm reading these comments. Justin Green, shoot, I got the 10 players. 87-0 Michigan. Michigan travels well everywhere. There are a ton of Michigan fans down here, guys. I actually traveled with good friends of mine, Cody, Manny, and Nate. We're all sharing a room together. Those guys are big Michigan fans. I tweeted a photo of the gear that Nate brought with him. He's all decked. All these guys are, but yeah, there are a lot of Michigan people here. So if you guys want this a casual chat, that's fine. If you guys want me to sit here and plug my column, which I think I have done, again, that's on Twitter at AdamBiggers81. Follow FanRag Sports at FanRag_U. So let's open it up, guys. We're going to go to Arlington, see some sights. Definitely want to take advantage of a little bit of time, but it is Friday. It is the day before game day. Thomas Bennett and I wanted to do a preview last night, but just the time difference and everything didn't work out, even though it was just an hour. Cameron Clark, hey Adam. Hey Cameron. Lead Demon, I'm guessing 38-14. Make it whatever you want, Adam. Well, guys, my official on-the-record prediction is 27-14 Michigan. That's what I'm going with. That originally, I had it 27-20, but without Jordan Scarlett, I feel like that's he was probably good for a touchdown in the run game. So, and Antonio Callaway, I still think Florida gets a couple touchdowns. Base 7769. How's the team looking? Well, Base, we'll find out tomorrow, won't we? Right? If you guys want to talk about that Ohio State-Indiana game, we can too. Do you think it is possible that Michigan burns those Samuels, Amari Samuels redshirt? Heard some rumors he's doing very well. It's hard to say, Wes, but like I said all along, Michigan's going to go 4 deep with running backs. I mean, Chris, and this is the pecking order right here, Chris, Karan, Ty, Kareem Walker. So I really don't expect to see Omari or Kurt Taylor. I know that there are some people, speaking highly of Omari. And like I said, guys, you got to be really careful where you're getting the information, who's tweeting what. There are a lot of experts on Twitter and a lot of people who are connected, and but they're not. So, got to be careful where you read. Not everything is credible, and do your homework. I guess you know what I mean. You guys know who the main beat writers are. Angelique, Nick, guys like that. So don't be Jamie Edmonds and Shawn Michael. Hey, I guess the plan is to still start Brandon, okay? That's what I'm hearing. Cincinnati and Air Force, those are Brandon's games. I'm kidding. It's Wilton Spate, guys. Wilton will be the starter tomorrow. Book it, write it down, get a tattoo of it. Is it true Dylan McCaffrey passed Peters? Cameron, Dylan's number 4. As far as I know, and it might be 3-4 maybe, but I mean, it's definitely Wilt, John, then Brandon or Dylan. And I'm sorry, I just missed that last question, guys. I'm gonna open it up on my browser because, like I said, I know a lot of you guys were like, hey, you can't. I'm sorry, here someone mentioned something about my nose coming into the screen or something. I don't know. The nostrils. Let me see. Okay, Lee Demon. Drevno in an interview said Taylor and Samuels are both having a great camp. Wouldn't surprise me if they played. Okay, well, if Tim Drevno said it, and again, I missed the availability. There's Nate Tuttle in the background. Come on in, Nate. Nate, come on in. I'm going to introduce you guys to who's going to start at quarterback. Levert. I think it's Levert and David. Hey, everybody, this is Nate Tuttle.
What's going on?
He is a big Michigan fan. As you can tell, he packed. Hi, Nate. Lee Demon says. Mike Sabowski, what up, Adam? Hey, guys. Nate, what's your official prediction for the game tonight? Or tomorrow, I'm sorry.
The game's tomorrow, baby.
Yeah, tomorrow.
I still got Michigan 42-7.
42-7,
yes, sir.
Says Nate. Nice gear, homie, says Lee Demon. Hey, Lee, check out on my Twitter. Nate, how much Michigan stuff did you bring with you?
I don't even know. I probably bought like 6 shirts, 3 sweaters, 2 hats, a flag.
The flag is actually hanging in our hotel room over the window.
In the window.
In the window. Michigan 30, Florida 28. Oh, I don't know if it's going to be that close, Wes, and I'd be surprised if Florida put up 28. Base 7769 said I saw it. What do you think of that picture, Base? I told you guys, he rolls deep. Turnovers are key to this game, says Kennedy Cameron. Yeah, turnovers are going to be key in all aspects. And again, I know a lot of people will talk about, Wilton last year. Oh, he had some costly interceptions. He only had one game with more than multi-interception game. So I felt like he was pretty efficient during the year. Saw the photo, $500 worth of gear for sure.
It's probably about 200.
Oh, only 200?
It wasn't that much, but it was. You gotta find the right deals.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably caught some sales or something. Yeah, he definitely.
But I mean, that does juice.
How you feel about Verlander? So, hey, Justin Verlander doesn't know Detroit anything. Justin Verlander made Detroit a competitor for a decade. Wish Justin well. He's one of my favorite Tigers of all time. I have a ton of actually have a signed photo of Justin Verlander in my bathroom. Believe it or not. I have a lot of memorabilia scattered throughout my house. I had to put it up there somewhere. So I actually had the opportunity to interview Justin when he came up to Jim Waldron in Davison. So great guy. Wish him the best. I think if you're a Tigers fan, don't rip him. That's he's doing. Justin Verlander doesn't owe the Tigers anything. Justin Verlander gave the Detroit Tigers arguably I would say two for sure, 2 of the greatest seasons of any American League pitcher. Look at the numbers. All right, Nate, I'll be done.
You guys have a good one.
Nate says, you guys have a good one. Who gets the first sack of the season for Michigan? Kennedy Cameron wants to know. I'm going to go with Rashawn. I think Rashawn is itching to get one. Nice to meet you, Nate. He left. I'll let him know. You guys follow Nate on Twitter. It's like @KingTut something. Look him up. Nate Tuttle, Tuttl. Nate also serves our country in the United States Army National Guard, so tip my cap to Nate. First sack, Wes Weber, Monet. I'll go with her, says Base. Okay, so I picked Rashawn, and you guys are going to go with everybody else. I see how it is. Nobody's going to... Devin Bush. Defoe says Devin Bush. That's good. I'm going with Rashawn just because he had one last year, and you got to believe that he... I even wrote in the column, I wouldn't be surprised if Rashawn doubles the season total from last year with 2. So we'll see. Solomon going to play tomorrow. I know that Arbery's in that mix in the 2 deep. Okay, Base is taking Kalik Hudson. So who do we have? We have Kalik. We have a vote for Devin Bush Jr. We have Mo Hurst. I picked Rashawn. I saw Brian Monet. So that's 6 guys right there, guys. Anybody else care to make? Rashawn, there you go, TJ. We're thinking alike. Special teams is going to be a big key, and they have a great kicker and punter. Does that make a difference in your opinion? Always, Mike, always. Special team. Hey, look at last year with special teams. Kenny Allen, punter for Michigan, you guys, and field goal kicker. Kenny kept those guys in a lot of games. Well, maybe not a lot of games, but he was important, put it that way. Special teams are always important. Winovich will benefit from attention from Gary, says Brian Martin. DPJ takes one to the house tomorrow, says Defoe. On a kick return, Chase with the first sack. There's another vote for Chase. Base 7769. I think they'll double Gary. They're gonna triple Rashawn. Rashawn's gonna get his though, because they gotta watch out for Mo Hurst too, right? First touchdown reception. I'm gonna say it's a tight end. I'll just go with position group. I think tight end. And again, if it happens, then I look really smart. We all look smart if our prediction comes true. If it doesn't happen, well then oh, you don't know what you're talking about. But along those lines, I will say this. Last night, that Ohio State-Indiana game, anybody who thought Indiana, I know experts were saying, and experts were saying Indiana had a chance to upset. I knew the Hoosiers were going to come out strong. Indiana's been building for the past few years. Kevin Wilson did a great job with the Hoosiers. Excuse me. But at the same time, it's Ohio State. And I know the offense struggled a little bit. The Buckeyes were talking about, Urban Meyer has said all during the offseason, and even after the 31-0 loss to Clemson in the national championship, that they wanted to work on their offense. And I think they did that last night. What type of impact will Lawrence Marshall have tomorrow? Will he be in the rotation? TJ wants to know. Indiana scares me with their young secondary, says Shane. TJ, I think Lawrence is going to be in that 2 deep. I really do. Defensive tackle. I think I've been saying Lawrence Marshall for, past 3-4 weeks. I really think that this is going to be a year where Lawrence really contributes. Does Chris Evans get at least 15 touches? Kennedy wants to know. I'm guessing somewhere in the range of 15 to 18. Kennedy. Like Adam's video, people, says Lee Demon. Yeah. Don't be afraid to like it, share it, tell all your friends, report my thumbnails for being misleading. I don't know if you guys saw that comment. I had a battle with some crazy commenter, DCAX, and then it's also Little Shoe. It's the same account. I don't feel like I mislead you guys, right? I took the photo. You guys know it's a podcast. He said he expected Jim Harbaugh press conference. I think I've clearly described it in the descriptions, and I think I do a good job with the title. So I haven't heard anybody complain but that person. I've heard Brown speak his name the other day. Lawrence Marshall says Base. Yeah, I think this is Lawrence's year. I really do. He's going to be a contributor to this defensive line without a doubt. OSU look message retracted. Kennedy. How long will it take the young secondary to figure it out in the game? Well, I do expect a big player too, and I think at that point, and referencing Ohio State had a young secondary as well, and the corners especially. So they, I imagine they'll get to. I'm laughing here. Cameron Clark, Garrett Moore is getting back-to-back holder of the year. Yeah, of course. But in terms of Alec Finzel, or Feinzel, let me know if I said that right. Alec, how long will it take the young secondary to figure it out in the game? It depends on how often Felipe wants to test them. I mean, and you got to understand too, Felipe Franks is making his first start. He's a redshirt freshman. So this might not be. Kennedy, keep your chat in the comments. We're going on the 15-minute mark. Do you think Scarlet suspension makes game or hurt strength of schedule? I get this one a lot, guys. This is still a big game. This is still a good strength of schedule game. Neutral site, SEC opponent. Yeah, without Jordan Scarlett, Florida's running game is probably going to be non-existent. I don't expect, but like I said, 27-14 Michigan. Jordan Scarlett, Antonio Callaway, Keanu Davis are the big losses there. Herb Street during OSU game. All season, Ohio State will not face a better quarterback receiver combo than Indiana. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I mean, hey, Lego was good last night, okay? But we all saw that second half. Who's getting the first score for Michigan? Adam Walney. I think it's a tight end. Excuse me, I think it's a tight end. Mark Thompson going to get wrecked, says Cameron Clark. I've never done a live stream. I'm in the business room here at the lovely Holiday Inn Dallas Market Center. If you ever get a chance to go to that, who's in Dallas? Is anybody in Dallas? Mike Zabrowski, their coach, I can't read. Their coach just didn't make you feel the same confidence that Harbaugh does when he speaks. I watched the presser and he seemed like he was very questionable about his kids. Thoughts? I think Jim McElwain has dug himself into a hole. Instead of complaining about Michigan's roster or cracking jokes, I think you got to worry about your own team. Justin Green, I was gonna, but no money. What's your final score? Kennedy Cameron wants to know. 27-14 Michigan. Michigan will run the ball well tomorrow, says Lakers 8823. I believe so too. I've been to Jerry's World, says Base 7769. I've never been. We're actually going to head out to Arlington here shortly. Do you think the venue will have a negative effect on true freshmen who are needed to make plays? That's always something that you think of, because put yourself in these guys' position. I mean, AT&T Stadium, you know, it's a bucket list stadium. It's huge. I mean, I know. But that's kind of the I didn't reference that particular aspect, but that's the kind of, they just got to forget about that. I know it sounds easy. Forget about the suspensions. Forget that you're playing at Jerry's World, neutral site, SEC team, top 25 matchup, which is easier said than done, obviously. But I think if they just go in there, I think that Jim Harbaugh prepares these guys well for big games, even though they haven't won a big game with them yet, unless you count the Citrus Bowl against Florida, and then the win against Michigan State, road win. But you guys know what I'm talking about. This will be a big win, I think. They're well prepared. I get this question a lot. The demeanor of the players, very confident, not overly confident, but very confident. I hear they are not very high on their defensive tackles. I feel like we will exploit that weakness and control tempo, says Mike. Leoism, do you think the youth Ohio State corners showed yesterday basically, yes. Yes, Leoism. Young corners, if you watched that Ohio State game last night, young corners, I think you could probably expect similar play from Michigan's corners. And again, they're young. But Ohio State's corners buckled down in the second half, didn't they? Michigan will show 4 wide offense tomorrow, says Lakers. Who's going to start at running back against Florida? I mean, Chris Evans is the number 1 running back, so I imagine it's Chris. But I imagine Chris will get the first carry. I think he's going to get somewhere in the range of 15 to 18 carries. Defoe, do you think we see the train formation tomorrow? I don't know. That's a good question. I think we might see like a 4. We might see some 3-4 tight ends. Might see a little bit of creativity, but I don't think they're really they're gonna come out here with a game plan and just go win this game. I know it sounds pretty simple, right? But Chris Evans, Wildcat default. I want to see Kalik in the Wildcat. That's what I want to see. And Kalik has played just about every position. I remember there was a little bit of chatter, maybe he could be a running back, but Michigan wideout will score at least 2 touchdowns. Do you think Florida will test the young secondary, Kennedy Cameron? Yeah, but again, too, it's a young quarterback, so you got to take that into account. Harbaugh's got something crazy up his sleeve. I think that he does, Adam. I'd love to see Kalik on offense as well. He is a beast, League Demon. I think Kalik Hudson is. I'm excited to see him play. I don't want to put him in that category of maybe, possibly. There are people that are really hyping him up, and I've heard comments. Well, over the summer, these guys said that he might be. Don Brown was asked a question about that. That Kalik might be the best player, something like that. We haven't even seen him really do anything yet. So, as you guys know, I'm more cautious. I like to go with logic and facts all the time. Kako will be the starting #1 wide receiver, says Leoism. Bro, you're super high on Hudson. He is not that type of athlete. Kennedy Cameron, are you sure? Are you sure, Kennedy? He is. Kalik is definitely that type of athlete. Feelings on their offensive line. Give Franks more time to pick on the young corners or stronger. Michigan's defensive line, I think, is going to control this tempo. Michigan O-line seems underrated, says Jay Steven. Well, again, we haven't seen a lot of these guys play yet, and they lost 3 all Big Ten starters: Ben Braden, Kyle Kalis, and Eric Magnuson, who was a staple. Eric played at right tackle. Eric played a ton of snaps. Kennedy Cameron says he's not Peppers, and I don't like that comparison. But Kennedy, players have said that he's right there, and I don't know if it's more just talking him up, but. Thoughts on Nolan Luzio starting at right tackle? Question pass. Have they announced that? I think it's John or Juwan at right tackle. What's your prediction? Predicted score for tomorrow. I'm going conservative, but with Michigan winning 88-0. Just kidding, but they're going to win. Says Go Wolverines. 27-14. That's my prediction. Crawford, Peoples-Jones, and Black starting receivers tomorrow. Ask Darkman 12-12. That sounds about right to me. Justin Wagner, to be fair, not players or Peppers caliber. And that again, that's what I feel like. And I feel like fans are so quick to be okay. This is the next guy. This is the next guy. Jabril was a Heisman finalist, and Nagurski, Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year. Not many guys can do what Jabril Peppers can do. And look, and he's doing it at the NFL level right now. I mean, I know it's preseason, but interceptions, punt returns. Kalik Hudson is a great athlete, but I'm not really so sure about, let's compare him head-to-head to Jabril yet. Sam Webb said he had a gut feeling on Eluzio starting, which means he basically is a starter. Casey Brown said, yeah, Sam's gut feelings are pretty good. Lakers... Peppers is gone. Let's move on, says Lakers. I agree. Mike Zabrowski. Cautiously confident about the game. I always am a wreck on game day. My wife goes to her friends on most occasions. You drive her out of the house, Mike? She can't handle it. MIC Brook. Leak is going to set his own legacy. Let guys do that. Let Kalik Hudson be the first Kalik Hudson. He doesn't have to be the next Jabril. Let him be the first Kalik Hudson. Grant Berry starting over McDoom in the slot. I don't know. I can't confirm, but I expect Eddie and Grant to be the slots. Leak Demon agrees with MIC Brook. And MIC, how was that pronounced again? What did you say it was? Like Julio or something? MIC Brook. I was pronouncing names wrong, and MIC Brook said no, it's actually pronounced Julio. Couple more questions, guys. We're at 25 minutes. What defensive fronts do we see tomorrow? As in, be more specific, Leoism. Do you feel that Kareem Walker will get his fair share of carries? I really think if he's given a chance, he can have a breakout year. Jim Harbaugh said that Julius, yeah, there we go, League Diva. Jim Harbaugh said that Kareem Walker was probably their best in-between tackles running back. I think Kareem will get some carries, but I think this is going to be mostly Chris and Karan and Ty tomorrow. How many and which wide receivers do we see on the field tomorrow? Well, let's count. I think we'll see Eddie McDoom. I think we'll see Grant Perry, DPJ, Tariq, maybe Nate Shanley. Who else? I mean, I think I think see 6 or 7 wide receivers is fair. Manny has a question. What bar are we going to? Watching the podcast. That was a text message. I don't know, Manny. You call the shots. Everybody say hello to Manny. How's Dallas, Adam? Mario Vaughn wants to know. Pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. This city's huge. I took a video on my Instagram of flying in. Dallas skyline is just amazing. Clean downtown, too. Cream Walker and DPJ should start kick return, says Leoism. Jay Steven wants to know, is Arbor going to play tomorrow's game? I would assume so. Again, there's a lot of rumors of like guys who didn't travel, that kind of stuff. I missed availabilities Tuesday and Wednesday night, so I was not on my job like I usually am because I had to prepare to travel and I had a really early flight Wednesday morning. So wasn't able to get down there Tuesday, and obviously Wednesday wasn't able to catch up with the coordinators. Anyone banged up, Mark Reed wants to know. There have been, I'm sure there's guys who are banged up. I mean, it happens in camp. I know that Chris Ballas of the Wolverine.com not too long ago posted that Luigi Villan was injured. He posted that Mo Hurst was injured, but I've heard that may have been stretched, and that's not knocking Chris. It's just I don't know where he heard that from. And the Wolverine, he and John Borton, they have good sources, but at the same time, I don't know. From what I've been told, I think it was kind of stretched a little bit. And Mo Hurst talked to the media, so I don't think that he can't be injured too badly. How many QBs to knock out the game this year, Kennedy Cameron? How many did they do last year? About 8? 7? Something like that? Is Aubrey Solomon a run stopper, a pass rusher, or a balanced guy? TJ Bellware wants to know. I think that he was pretty balanced in high school. Great pass rusher. Kennedy Cameron, yeah, like 8. Yeah, I thought it was like 7 or 8. About half as many, put it this way, they knocked out about half as many quarterbacks as nearly blocked punts and field goals last year, because what they got their hands on about, 15 or 16? Very handsy. I wouldn't be surprised to see Michigan block a punt, something like that. A tip, severely alter. You were my first tweet, if you remember, from yesterday. Mike, yes, thank you, Mike. I appreciate it. First tweet. I'm honored, sir. Thank you. That one's going in the archives. OSU can beat. Lakers wants to know. Anybody in the Big Ten? OSU can be beat. Oh, I thought that was a question. I mean, yeah. No team was invincible, but watch that second half last night. Ohio State really ramped it up. Hey guys, I'm gonna cut it off. We're going on 30 minutes. JT. Barrett struggles to throw downfield. Defoe, don't get me started on JT. Don't get me started on JT. I like JT. Yeah, he's not a rocket arm quarterback, but JT's solid. When will we stream next? TJ, probably late tomorrow after the game. Kennedy, good job, bro. Thanks, Kennedy. I appreciate you guys watching again. Thanks everybody for watching the live stream on YouTube. I want to thank everybody for listening on iTunes. Search Sports in the Mitten. Everyone listening on the FanRag Sports Blog Talk radio channel. And again, you can find us on iTunes, Google Play. You can watch the live stream here. If David Long starts, he will get picked on for one-on-one jump balls like Indiana did Ohio State. Yeah, I expect that. They're going to... Put it this way, like I said, Felipe Franks is a redshirt freshman quarterback. Felipe was a highly rated recruit coming in. I mean, he has an arm, but at the same time, flip the whole thing, the young thing from Michigan, but imagine what Felipe Franks is talking about right now. Kennedy Cameron, hit that like button ASAP. Please do, guys, and follow me on Twitter at AdamBiggers81. Follow FanRag Sports at FanRag_U. And I want to take this time real quick before I close it out. Thanks to Tim and Keith down there at Mr. Spots in Ann Arbor. There are no Mr. Spots in Dallas. I looked everywhere. They don't have them. So you got to go to 808 State Street in Ann Arbor, Michigan to get my favorite steak sandwiches. Best. And I'm from Flint. We have Big John's. Big John's does not compare to Mr. Spots. It just doesn't. I'm sorry, Big Johns. They're going to revoke my Flint card for that, but it's the truth. So again, guys, I appreciate you watching. I like these kind of casual chats. I wanted to get a show up today just because Thomas and I planned on doing one last night, but again, the kind of conflict of schedule here. So they have there's two of them. Mr. Spots in Bowling Green, Ohio. Yes, Justin. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Share the crap out of these things, guys. Like them. We're really starting to pick up some steam, getting a lot of listens on Blog Talk and on iTunes, getting a good crowd for the live streams. And all you guys asking questions, Defo, Kennedy, Leoism. I want to go through the list here. Cameron is a regular, DeMario is a regular, Leap Demon is a regular. Antoine Johnson, here's a comment. I hope Harbaugh is not too conservative. Last year he was hesitant to put foot on the gas. He has weapons. I hope he uses them. And then when he gets the lead, okay. Basically, he hopes that Harbaugh is not conservative tomorrow. I don't think he will be. I think that Jim Harbaugh will go for 2 off a kickoff if he could, if he could, especially with Florida, because I feel like Jim McElwain has dug himself a tremendous hole. And, when he wants to take shots at Michigan for, the roster thing and crack jokes and everything, my school of thought is, dude, worry about your team. Because you have, like, what was I saw a stat, it's like 12% of Florida scholarship players are ineligible for this game. A couple of them been suspended all year, or until further known, indefinitely suspended. Hold on, I just saw that. Came late, what's your prediction? Tino Tanadadon, I don't know how to say that. Tino Dadon? I'm sorry. 27-14. Maybe he just needs to find a shark. The shark, it's Shark Week. Shark Week, guys. 27-14 is my prediction. Again, that column's on FanRag Sports at FanRag_U, FanRagSports.com. And one final time for the Twitter plug, at AdamBiggers81. Thanks for the likes, the shares, the views. I appreciate it, guys. Enjoy the game tomorrow, and that's pretty much it. Appreciate it. Say double high weed, and I will describe double high weed. I just said it. Subscribe. Is that one of those like sofa king? Double high weed. There you go. You got to subscribe twice. Get a couple other people to subscribe. Laker says he thinks Michigan will score more than 27 points. All right, guys, I'm out of here. I'm going to go to Arlington. I'm going to go grab some lunch. And that's pretty much it. I'll catch up with you guys tomorrow night. Enjoy the game.